Project Quality Management, a quick guide. When you're managing a project, the triple constraint should always be top of mind. But there's a fourth constraint that's just as important, yet sometimes forgotten by some project managers as they go through the project planning phase: project quality management. What is project quality management? Project quality management is the process of defining quality standards for the deliverables of a project, as well as the quality assurance measures to guarantee those standards are met. However, quality can be an elusive word. In project management, quality is simply what the customer or stakeholder needs from the project deliverables. Project quality management can be simply defined as the combination of quality planning, quality assurance, and quality control activities. Project managers further define these for their projects through a quality management plan. What is a quality management plan? A quality management plan is a document that helps project management teams establish quality planning, quality control, and quality assurance procedures to maintain quality standards throughout the execution and completion of a project. Key elements of project quality management. Project managers oversee the implementation of a project quality management plan. The main idea, again, is to deliver a product or service to the specifications of the customer or stakeholder. Doing so requires knowing quality management concepts. Customer satisfaction. Without customer satisfaction, there can be no quality. Even if a deliverable meets all aspects of what the customer or stakeholder has required, but is done so where the process itself wasn't satisfactory, there's a problem. Of course, the deliverable must meet those requirements. Or else, the project has failed because the product of the project and the management of the project didn't meet the expectations of the customer or stakeholder. That's why implementing quality control means managing both processes and people. Meet with your customer or stakeholder regularly to keep them abreast of the project's progress. Get their feedback and make sure that you're fully transparent to avoid issues arising later. Prevention over inspection. Quality doesn't come for free. The cost of quality, COQ, is the money spent dealing with issues during the project and then after the project to fix any failures. These are broken up into two categories: cost of conformance and cost of non-conformance. The cost of conformance can be considered a preventive cost. These project costs are primarily related to training, the documentation process, the equipment needed, and the time required to get the quality done right. Other costs related to this can include testing, destructive testing loss, and inspections. The cost of non-conformance refers to internal failure costs. These consist of reworking something or even scrapping it entirely. Further costs can come from liabilities, warranty work, and lost business. Continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is a technique that allows project teams and project-based organizations to improve how they work over time through small incremental changes, which helps deliver high-quality project deliverables. Applying this concept also means constantly monitoring any issues that come up, so you can then use the lessons learned when managing future projects. This way, you run a more efficient project and likely won't repeat mistakes. Quality tools used in the project management. 1. Flowchart. It is a graphical description of workflow steps, so it can describe the steps of any process through graphical symbols which are connected to each other by paths that represent the direction of the workflow. The symbols can be circles, rectangles, diamonds, or any other shapes, which must be predefined to make the flowchart easy for understanding. We begin the flowchart by the start node, which is often represented as a circle shape. Then we represent each action or step we do by a rectangle shape. When we want to make a decision or a test that will give more than one result, each result will direct us to a different path with a different action. Flowcharts are very useful when we want to make a correction for any process. It helps us eliminate redundancy and unuseful work steps. Additionally, they are highly beneficial when creating the project statement of work, especially when combined with project quality management tools that ensure the process adheres to quality standards. 2. Pareto diagram. It is a special vertical chart that is divided into categories that show all possible probabilities or events that can occur. Categories are ordered by the frequency of each category, from high frequency on the left side of the vertical axis to the low frequency on the right side of it. Pareto depends on the rule of 80-20, which proves that 80-100 of problems come from 20-100 of causes. So when we know that 20-100 of the causes and give more attention and resources to avoid them, we will solve 80-100 of the errors and problems. So Pareto diagram is very useful when we use it with a cause and effect diagram, also called Ishikawa or fishbone. 3. Histogram. It is a tool for showing the central tendency, statistical distribution, and dispersion of a given set of measurements that will be shown on a vertical bar chart. It is very useful when we want to know which categories have a larger frequency. We can use it in many applications, such as defining the resources that will perform the project work by using resource histogram. 4. Cause and effect diagram. It is a diagram that represents the cause and effect of a fishbone. Its head represents the problem or objective, and the body represents the causes of the problem, or the actions that should be performed to reach the goal or objective at the head of the fishbone. When we find a problem with any process, such as a process variation or an increasing number of defects, we can use the fishbone to find the source of the problem. Each resource can also be divided into a number of resources until we reach the original resources of the problem. The fishbone problem statement often comes from the control chart when its measurements point to a problem in the process stability. 5. Check sheets. The check sheet is a sheet that contains items of inspections and tests, and the attribute that each test can result in. The acceptance criteria of each test must be listed on the sheet to be a guide for determining if the inspected item of the sample, such as a piece of code in the software project, has passed a test item, such as a unit test. Then we gather the frequencies of each defect and represent them in Pareto chart. 6. Scatter diagram. A scatter diagram, called also correlation diagram, is a diagram represented by two axes, x and y. So any measurement or data shown in scatter diagram is represented by a pair of x and y. The correlation between x and y shown is based on the rule that y is dependent on x, but x is not dependent on y. So there are many types of correlations, such as positive correlation, proportional, negative correlation, inverse, or pattern of no correlation, zero correlation. An example of a positive correlation is the weight of the human and its relation to his age, between 1 year and 40. We find that the weight of the human depends on and is affected by age. An increase in age will lead to an increase in weight, but the reverse is incorrect. So we will consider the age on is x-axis and the weight on is y-axis. In a negative correlation, when x is increased, y decreases. In a summary, utilizing quality tools for project management has proven to be a game changer in enhancing a company's product and service quality, overall operational efficiency, and profitability. Thank you for watching this video.